And tonight you're going to get a really special treat because we have Douglas Sohn with us. Did I say it right?
Close, Sohn.
Close, Sohn, okay, because it's an unusual spelling. It's S-O-H-N.
Right.
And we want to say son or son, but it's Sohn.
Sohn.
Zone, I got it right. Anyway, he's an attorney at law, and he's local.
Yes, Connie.
And how long have you been in as a lawyer? And
I've been an attorney since 1978, so that's 34 years.
And what field did you choose?
Well, the slogan for my practice is when bad cars happen to good people. So I focus on what's called the lemon law.
Oh my God. I hadn't heard that word in a long time.
Right.
And you know, this is a time I think that it's very apropos to have you on, because as we've been noticing in the news that the automobile industry has really been showing a plus. So you have information how to protect our public against what?
How to protect the public against cars that they might buy that turn out to have problems. And actually the first most important thing that I'd like your viewers to know is that they can protect their rights as consumers when it comes to cars, and it won't cost them anything to have an attorney represent them, which is really unusual and unique in California.
Yeah.
It's actually written into the law that if you go forward with a lemon law case, then the other side, the manufacturer, has to pay the attorney's fees. So when I talk about lemon law, let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, please do, because this is important.
Right. And most people don't really know about this law, even though it's there for their protection. So basically, let me give you an example of what a lemon law case might be. Let's say that you buy a new car or a truck, or even a car that's used, but it's still under the original warranty. And you get that truck or car and you're driving it, and you start to have problems with it. Say the check engine light comes on, or it starts to leak oil, or you find that the engine hesitates when you're driving it. So you take it back to the selling dealer and you ask them to fix it. And they tell you, okay, we've got it fixed.
And then they charge you for it.
No. Actually, under the warranty, typically you're not charged for it. So that's the good part about warranties. If the problem comes back, so let's say you drive it for another day, week, month, however long, and the problem comes back or is still there, and you take it back to the dealer, and you say, look, I've got the same problem. And they try again to fix it. And this goes back and forth several times. What the law says, if you give them a reasonable opportunity to fix the problem, and they can't get it fixed, then they have to buy the car or truck back from you. So they give you back all the money that you put in for your down payment and your payments. They pay off your loan. If you have to have an attorney represent you, which unfortunately frequently you do, then they have to pay those attorney's fees as well. So it's a really strong protection for the California consumer that frankly you don't have in most states. We're very lucky to be in California.
Well, let's say I would buy a car and I start getting problems with it, let's say new or used, and you, like you explained, what, as a woman, I mean, now, hey, you know, the first thing they say, okay, let's sell her any old clunker, you know, and she'll pay for it, and that's it. And that happened to me once already.
Okay.
But then what do we do? I mean, do we go directly to a lawyer? I mean, like, take, for instance, seek out a lemon law lawyer. How would I find you, though? You're not under lemons and attorneys, because there's thousands of them in the yellow pages. I mean, what do we look for?
Well, here's what you can do. You can actually use the internet to be able to search for attorneys that specialize in lemon law, which is what I would suggest. If you put in lemon law in California or lemon law in San Diego, you can usually find a list of qualified lemon law attorneys.
Is lemon a very common word for cars right now, though?
It actually is.
It is? Because when I heard, you know, I said, oh, good, we're going to have him on. He's with lemon. And I thought, well, lemon what? You know?
I'm not a citrus law specialist.
No. And so anyway, it turns out to be that there really is a legitimate title for clunkers.
Exactly. One of those old-fashioned words that's still in existence because, unfortunately, the problem still exists. And, you know, any manufacturer can make a lemon. I've had clients who've come to me for anywhere from a Hyundai Sonata, very modest car, up to a Lamborghini or a Bentley, or even a $400,000 motorhome. And just because the manufacturer is doing its best and trying to produce a good car, truck, or motorhome doesn't mean that occasionally they won't come out with a vehicle that turns out to be a lemon. But as I say, fortunately in California, you have your rights. You can seek out an attorney that can represent you as a, a lemon law attorney, and then you don't have to pay for the fees, which is really the best part of it.
Well, hopefully they'll look for Douglas Sohn.
Sohn, right?
I got it. Douglas Sohn. And we have, of course, your www and all of that information as we're speaking.
Exactly. If your viewers want any more information, I do have a website. It's whenbadcarshappen.com.
I think that's a great title.
Thank you.
Because when you go out on speeches, when bad cars happen to good people, and that's exactly what happens. I mean, good people, innocent, with little halos over their head, and they get slammed with a clunker.
And unfortunately, that happens. I always feel really good when I'm able to help my clients. That the person with the Hyundai that I was talking about, this is a nice young couple. She had actually bought the car before they were married. She had actually saved up her babysitting money to come together with the down payment for this new car. And as it turns out, the car had very serious steering problems. If you've ever been in a car where you took your hands off the wheel, it would start to drift?
Oh, yes.
Well, this car would go very far, very quickly. And also, when she got married and they went on a long trip, her husband said when he drove the car, the wheel shook so much that it actually made his hands numb.
So we look for Doug Sohn
Right.
for cars that are lemons, okay? And don't hesitate, because like so many women nowadays who are independent and careers, they need a lawyer like you. And I want to thank you so much. And if you have any other bright ideas, please come back to us.